question is, how has your experience with sports been, and have you learned anything through it? I've done lots of sports, and I've learned a lot. I think I'm definitely not skilled in any sports, but it's been a good time because we've just had time to really push ourselves and kind of see. We always talk about like what strengths are going to come out, but we have such a narrow view of giftings, even whenever it comes to sports or when it comes to team dynamic. And I think I was really thankful for a time when we were putting teams together for volleyball, and naturally I was one of the last picks, and which I always am, I wasn't offended, but Mr. Garner had a time where he kind of like talked to the group and talked about how we were developing teams strictly based on skill rather than considering all of the different angles to it. And I found it really encouraging. I think that it was interesting even whenever we tried to implement it, that people were kind of had even tried to label me as like, you're the encourager. And kind of saying like, we'll make up for any mistakes that you make, just encourage. And it was supposed to be encouraging, but it was interesting because the result seemed to be that no matter how well I did, at first, it was like no matter how well I did, I was always going to be the encourager instead of like somebody who could actually participate. And so I was starting to think, I was like, is that literally all I have to offer? Like, is it just I'm encouraging? Because I was like, I don't feel super encouraging right now, and I don't really want to encourage people. I just want to be able to learn the game and focus. So it was interesting trying to figure that out. And at one point I was just like, all right, Lord, you can just teach me, and trying to even just center my mind and reorient my mind to not be trying to please people, or even trying to be upset with people if I think they think a certain way about me or anything like that. And towards the end of the volleyball game, one of the super tall and strong guys on the other team had just kept nailing the volleyball down right to me, and I basically just bumped it back 3 times over. It was just one after the other, and after that everyone came and surrounded me and was like, woo, and shouting and cheering and stuff, and which was cool, but I wasn't yes, I love all these sweaty people around me jumping up and down. And I was even trying to be I'm enjoying this with my face. I was having a hard time, but I was thankful because the Lord even showed me grace and showed our whole team grace in the ways that we can build one another up and giving people opportunities to serve one another. And I don't know if I would have been able to get that lesson had I not been experiencing it necessarily. I've definitely had that experience a lot of times before where I wasn't skilled at something, and I've had people invest into me, but that was something that people were obviously had made a point that they were not confident in my ability to participate, and so they weren't going to put me in a position where it would make the team lose. But then after that they did put me in a position, and they took that risk to be we might lose. And I don't think I had experienced that with peers before. I'd only experienced it with people who are older than me, giving me that type of opportunity. And I think that was really impactful to be able to even see my teammates around me as to be able to encourage each other to grow and not just see each other as one thing or one aspect, but to desire for one another to grow and be dynamic and strong in our positions in the places that we can fill. So that was impactful for me.